Assalamualaikum students. Yes, last day we stopped our lecture from the categories and types of the slope. Now today we just know that the formula, the change in slope. You know very well that the slope actually basically when we compare, when we have the graph of comparison, like we have positive and negative combined graph, then we will have to compare both of these values. So to compare both of these values, we should have to follow this formula. This is the slope formula: change in y and change in x, delta y and delta x and delta y. So that is we can also write this formula like this: m stands for measurement of line is equal to delta y or delta x is equal to, as we know, y2 minus 1 y1 and x2 minus x1. So this is the general formula to solve any kind of equation. So let me explain and this formula by an example. We have this example. You will see that to compute the slope of the line connecting 2 4 and 5 12 arbitrarily, identify one point as xy and the other as x2, label it graphically. 2 4 as x1 y1 and 5 12 changes in value of y is. So we just have two values here, x1 and y1, x2 and y2, and we just have the two values for x1 and x1 and y1, that is 2, and for the second value for x2 and y2 are 5 and 12. So this statement shows that we should have to put these values according to the compression of the graph. So what we will do, we just write the formula like delta y, as we know that delta y is equal to y2 minus y1. So just putting the value 12 for where does this 12, this is a y2's value and this is a y1 value. So we put these two values, 12 minus 4, it become 8. Similarly, we have the two values x1 and x2. So x1 value is here, we have put like 2 is a value of x1 and 5 is a value of x2. So we write 5 minus 2, x2 minus x1, we will have 3. Let's put the value of delta y and delta x in graph. So we will have a picture like this graph. Just you look at this graph, please. This is where we have to compute the value, like here we have delta x value and here we have delta y value. As we solve the equation before that, delta y is equal to 8 and delta x is equal to 3. So according to graph, we put the value delta 3 here. Okay, before 5 the value of delta 3 will be put it, and the next value is delta y is 8. So we should write the value of 8 here of delta y. Actually delta y solved by these two equations, 5 12, and the compression of delta x same 2 4. So this is the actual situation of a graph. It is very easy, not to be a very difficult thing. You can understand easily because if you know the previous lectures. The next is that is a formula that the change in x is just simply we have already discussed this thing before when we are studying delta y's value. So delta x is equal to x2 minus x1, 5 minus 2 become 3. Already we have done this delta 3. Okay, now this is the measurement of angle. As we have the formula, like see we have formula here, m measurement of line delta y over delta x is equal to x2, mean to say delta y is equal to x2 minus x1 and delta x is equal to x2 minus x1. So same like this we have like the formula m is equal to delta y over delta. In the last we should apply this formula. Okay, when we have the compression like this, when we have the two values x1 x2 y1 y2, then we put this formula. Okay, not any other thing. So as we solve this equation, it is 8 over 3, and if we divide this with the value will come in points. So this is our actual answer, and it is not need to draw graphically because basic thing is to draw, that is the delta y and delta x. Okay, hope you understand this lecture again. If you do not understand, you please ask me again. Thank you very much.